This is Rohit Mondal from Alien Brains. Today I am back with a new topic about A/B testing. So I recently stumbled upon this topic and it actually interested me a lot. Let me give you a little backstory. Since I am a web developer, so for all web developers, you first need a if you are working on a web page, so you will first need a UX design, and when you get that UX design, you will work over that. So you will be provided a layout that is the work of the web designer, and after that you as the web developer you will try to implement it on your web as a to on your website. So why I said this, it will get to you in a few moments, and so you won't get to see my face right now. So bye. Hey, so uh, what is A/B testing? A/B testing, also known as split testing, is the process of comparing two versions of a web page, email or other marketing asset, and measuring the difference in their performance. You do this by giving one version to one group and another version to another group. So, and then you can say how much each variation performs. So, by A/B testing, there is no short form. This is not a short form or anything. This A and B, the alphabets. So, since basically we have a we have one group which is called A and another group called B, and we have both of them, and then we compare the two versions. So this is all about comparisons. Basically you will for example, there are two web pages. Basically they are same. You have a certain web page and you have the idea about it, but since there are different designs for everything, you can think of different designs for the same web page. For example, I want to show a navbar my content. That navbar and that same content can be shown in more than one way. It can two, three, four. So besides A/B testing, there is also multivariate A/B testing. Like you have A B, but not only A B, A B C D, and or if you go to plan A, plan Z, anything. Now, say let's move forward. How does A B testing work? So to understand how A B testing works, take a look at an example. Imagine if you have two very different designs for a landing page, and you want to know which one will perform better. This is everything that's written. Let me get to a little. Let me show it here. So see, uh, you can see the content. If you look closely, they are all the same, but the color is different. So you can see these are two versions. So this is version A, this is version B, and both of them. Now what you will do is basically the idea is you will show your web page to a group of users, and that group of users will tell you like how it works, like how much it is attractive, and more. Basically, what I want to say is, means you have to compare which web page performs better. Now, what you need to understand is how will you measure your performance. So, what are the factors you should keep in mind while A/B testing? Basically, your web first of all, the most important one, because see, website reach as in how many people get to see your website. When I was talking earlier about A/B testing and providing your web page to different groups of people, if you try to keep it within a small circle, then you might not get your particular ideas, might not get it correctly, since the entire world is looking into web page, not that particular group, and different people will behave differently. So obviously you need to first deploy your work. And what by well, now you might think that after you have deployed your work, you might think how can I deploy different web pages for different people. So this is the one of the main advantages. Basically, when you will write your code in a certain way, when after that when you deploy it, 50% of your users will, since I'm now talking about A and B, so let me divide into 50 and 50. A, B, C, D, those are different. You will have to, we will come back later. Let's go to the basic place. So 50% of your users see one type of web page, and the other 50% sees the other type of web page. But basically you have deployed only one web page. But the way you have written your code is that some of the users see it in one way and other users see it in a different way. And even if, for example, now you might think that one of my users is looking at my web page in a certain way, and then he might have closed the website and again opened, and now he's looking at it in a different way. Also, that doesn't happen, because once your web page is open, the way you have written your code, that way you will then your the way you had first seen your web page, that will be stored in the cache. There are certain conditions are present in the cache, and then using that, the particular website that the user first saw, he will only see that only. And other than that, you will obviously, the website reach is very important, like the SEO. A lot of people should be able to see it, because unless a lot of people see it, how will you test? Other than that, your app usage pattern, like how you will see what parts of your web pages are being accessed more, how the various click-through rates, like users are clicking on your buttons, whether they are accessing all the web, all the things that you have put in your, all the features that you have put in your app. And obviously, and other than that, there are customer support queries, like people will send queries about how the certain thing works. That is very important, as that is why you will see on Play Store the various reviews. So those are the type of queries. And other than that, the user interviews, like you will get to see the users will tell you how they like your app. And so how can you achieve better results through A/B testing? Like I told you, will get to see how your website performs. Like the end goal of is obviously you want users to use your website, right? So how can you achieve the, how can you get better results through your A/B testing? I have written here what is this CTA and CTR. What are these? CTA is call to action and CTR is click through rates. So what is call to action? Uh, for example, if I say, when I saw here, see here, these are two buttons as you can see here. So if you click on this get started now button, that is when this is the part of the call to action. Basically, I am asking asking the user to interact with my website, like use the JavaScript and not stay in only the static parts, like the static HTML and CSS. So click through call to action. An user, if he gets to interact with your website more, he will like it more, because obviously your static web pages, they will, it will be only for face value, but the main thing is obviously your JavaScript and how people are interacting with your website, right? And by CTR, what I talked about click through rates, like how many users are clicking on your website buttons, how which ones they are accessing, which API is getting called on clicking that button, obviously, and and all those things. So other than that, what is this optimized information density? Basically, for example, let me give you an example. If you have a web page, and then there are four sections. What can I say here? Okay, let me give you about a storybook app. Okay, so say you have four storybooks you want to show them. If you take the entire space, this entire screen to show one storybook, then you have to scroll down and go to the other storybook and to the other storybook, which actually takes up a lot of the user's time, because it increases your loading time first of all, because you are bringing in different viewports. What could be a better way? So here, the if we take a one storybook as one bit of information, so you can see here there is only one bit on the one screen. So here what you could do is have four bits on one screen only. So if you if you optimize the information density, what you could do, you could show one storybook here, one storybook here, one here, and one here. Four of them could be on the same screen only, and that would also work. That would also account for a better UI, since your app will actually look good here, and obviously the users will be able to interact more without increasing their loading time. This is what information density, optimizing your information density is. And some of the other principles of A/B testing is keep fetching data and making optimizations. What do I mean by this? See, if you are a web developer, you might not know much about statistical testing. See, A/B testing is mostly statistical testing. Basically, it also involves a lot of data science, and that is why your data scientists are there. you see how different genres, different fields are coming together to get the best UI, to get the best web page for best interaction. That is why different huge streaming companies, they all have these fields. There are different fields for working. So in here you need to, like, obviously when your user is clicking on something and they're fetching data and they're fetching things, the API is being called, you need to obviously fetch that data, right? Because unless you see what they're clicking on, what they're doing, you won't get to understand it. So, and also sometimes we might think that, oh, the first time your website is working well, so that way what happens, that your website is working well, so you don't need to see it again. But that doesn't work actually, because an user, see, our human mind is very fickle mind. It's very fickle minded. We will keep on changing it. So maybe sometimes something that someone likes now, he might not like it later. So this A/B testing, it needs to be done continuously. And other than that, obviously refine your work and repeat it. So once you make optimizations, again you repeat your experiment and run your experiments in similar conditions for everybody. What do I mean by this? For example, since this is all based on how your user is looking at your website, it also depends on how he is feeling at that moment. It might be possible that he is not feeling well today. Maybe his day didn't go well. That's why he didn't interact with your website. So, first of all, that is the main reason you need to first check it between your smaller peer groups, and then you need to go forward and increase your reach. By that, you will be able to understand better, because once you get to see your peer closer people, and they will understand, you will be able to understand how they are feeling. So, this is basically a control type of experiment. You know how their group is feeling, and only that group is being given that task of checking the website. And I am not sure whether you are convinced yet that why you should do A/B testing. So maybe I can do a little bit of magic with my words and tell something. The magic word Netflix. So what is this? Netflix, basically Netflix. Netflix also does A/B testing. That is what I meant to say. You might think that how this huge streaming company, how they are growing, keeping on growing. So they are one of the. I recently saw an interview of one of the Netflix developers, and they said that obviously they do tons and tons of A/B testing. So basically, what they do, or the same thing, they actually show the different UI to different people, and you might see that once you log in, you might see something at first, and if you switch off and again log in later, you might see another show. So first time one show is being shown, and another next time another show is being displayed. So basically, this is how Netflix convinces its users to watch those very shows, because that's the main thing, right? They will want the users to look at the shows, and only that then they can increase their reach. So if you are convinced that Netflix uses it, you might think that obviously it's good enough. Else they wouldn't use it, right? And so what you have here is do your own A/B testing using. See, you might need to start out first, right? And then later go to Netflix and all those. It's more about Node.js and stuff. So first of all, you can use this experimental Marvel app React A/B test. This is an npm library. You can you can go on Google and search it. It has the correct documentation. You can easily work upon it and get your work done. So I think that's was a basic theoretical session of what A/B testing is. You need to practically implement it, and I hope you do it. See, at the end of the day, you might want your work to get lesser. You won't want that your UI is keeping getting changed. So that way your UI will keep changing, and you will need to keep on making the changes. So when you're making the changes, you might also need to know that it is working well, right? Else it would be not a worthy change. So at the same time, you at the very beginning you have created the different kinds of layouts, and then you have shown it to your user. And when you see that and your user is responding to a certain layout better, you will remove that other layout. So that way your work also doesn't get delayed. So I hope that's all for today. Finally, you get to see my face. Thank you and happy learning.